We're taking sign-ups to win a laptop.
I was kind of interested in going to find out how Cedric did, since I know he's been feeling pretty under the weather so far. I don't have like a hazmat suit to go check in on him though.
So yeah, while you guys were talking to Chapin, I went over and watched his match. He was playing against Juza, Cedric versus Juza, and Cedric made a mistake because he was sick. Mm-hmm. He like forgot to count, like sort of an amateur mistake with Dredge, but he thought he did it right. Like forgot to count how many lands were in his deck. So the last turn of the game, drew a land and had 2 Hedron crabs in play, and had to like go for max value to hit an Archimedes to block a 20/20. So he played the Verdant Catacombs and milled a bunch, and then dredged a bunch, and then cracked it, and there was nothing left.
There was nothing left. Oh no.
So he lost that game, but
that's unfortunate. You don't usually see him make mistakes anywhere near like that, but being sick as he is going to be rough on his concentration.
He also said he made a mistake earlier in the game, but I walked in kind of late, so I didn't see what it was.
Well, thanks, Rashad.
But yeah, he'll take his first loss. Juza will continue undefeated.
Juza the Road Warrior.
Juza's still playing. He's playing Dark Depth, Stop Your Country, but he's still running Beseech the Queen. That was a card that got cut a long time ago.
Yeah.
I was interested to see that in his deck. He was dredging for Dark Blast. He was actually playing a better dredge deck at the end game than Cedric was, because he was dredging with Dark Blast and he hit Engineer Explosives, which is just like, and he had Academy Runes going.
Let's get it back, yeah.
He's like, nice dredge deck you got there. Mine's better.
Juza's been at like every single Grand Prix that I've been at in the past year or so. I've been to like 7 or 8 from like South America all the way to Japan, and Juza's been at all of them. The man just does not stop playing Magic. He's so good. He's like level 15 also, so like
he just refuses to ever lose.
No, he's really, really good, and the best part about it is like, and this is the problem you run into a lot of times with Magic players, like especially like the high level ones, they understand the game really well and they're very good at playing it, but they're very bad at like verbalizing what they're doing and like trying to get it so that people can understand. He's a really, really good explainer of things. He just always has done a fantastic job. Like he's one of my favorite people to cover because I love sitting down and talking with him afterwards. He just breaks everything down for you incredibly well and points out a lot of small things that you might miss. He's really good at making people better. Just a skill that is in demand these days.
Plus he's like just the nicest guy.
Yeah, agreed.
One of the nicest people.
Yep. Definitely, he's. I'm glad that he is getting his due now. So he's worked really hard.
The concession stand right outside the door will be closing shortly. 5 minutes.
So let's see. We are a few minutes into the break now. It doesn't look like there's nearly as many. The break. It's all we can really call it right now. The dead space between rounds.
Yeah.
Joshua Geary to the
I'm interested to see. We haven't gotten a Escape Shift deck in, and I'm interested to see one in the feature match area at some point. Sorry if I keep bringing that deck up. I have a little man crush on it, to say the least. It's always been a lot of fun, and I think that's the thing. It's like when it comes to formats for me, like the decks that are the most expensive or the most interesting are the ones that just for me seem. They're kind of explosive, less standard, and like they're always a lot of fun to cover, especially in text coverage. Like, you know, Legacy, one of the biggest decks is for me like the Tendrils deck is just so like ad nauseum is just so dumb. Like I love the way that like it forces coverage just because, you know, and he casts ad nauseum, then you just write like a list of 15 cards and then afterwards like explain everything, and it's a lot of fun to watch going, and it's a lot of fun to see the Escape Shift deck run in this format also, and I like the fact that, I mean, mentioning the Beseech the Queen also, like it just seems like a lot of decks have gone like full circle back to the way that they used to be like originally, and I mean, I'm not surprised at all to see like Domainish style zoo decks making like a comeback and like that happening. I mean, I'm sure that we could probably find a couple blue-white Thopter decks running around that are just not running the Depth combo either. And they're not going to be as good as the ones that are, but. Let's see. Who else should we check in with in the near future? We got a lot of people here. People have been asking about Matt Nass. I haven't.
He's so nasty, man. I don't even understand how nasty Matt Nass is. See what I did there?
Yeah, it's clever.
I'm sure that joke's never been. I saw him at the LA 5K I was at, and like I kept saying it whenever I saw him, just like, dude, you're so nasty. And then like some point throughout the end, just like, have I said that more times or less times than LSV? He's like, far less. Because LSV just apparently just makes that
all the time.
pun every single waking minute of Matt Nass's life.
Unsurprised. He's another one of those guys I see all over the place too. Like he was my last trip out to Japan. He was out there with
LSV.
No, Matt Nass.
He was.
Yeah, with let's see, Go Dennis and a couple of the other like American players who made the trip. So I think MJ was out there too.
MJ is so good. I don't understand. Like he was doing coverage with us at Grand Prix Oakland and like commentating on the games. I would be surprised if he does not win a premier event in the next 3 months.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that he hasn't won one since when he won nationals. Like he's just unbelievably good.
Yeah, he like it's really weird too because I've known MJ. I mean, he's a Midwest player, so I've known him forever. But like I got to know him really well years ago, back when Versus was.
Yeah, he was a big Versus player.
He was phenomenal. Like he would our house in Indiana was like the house in the Midwest that everybody came into to test and stuff for that. And like watching him grow like then and just like turn into the most dominant player in that game, and then watching him make the shift like at that first nationals where he made the U.S. team, just like was completely. It was expected. Like watching him play, watching his work ethic, he just plays infinitely, and on top of playing infinite, like he doesn't make mistakes, and he knows what the right thing to do is, and he's good across all kinds of formats too. He puts in all the work. I mean, he won the
Magic Online
event at San Diego.
After going 0-6 in Magic matches from Oakland and the Pro Tour. He was like 1-4 in the Pro Tour, 0-3 in Oakland. Just like couldn't win a match. Just like, I guess I have to keep grinding, just playing the Magic Online thing and win it. Doesn't lose like a match at all.
Yeah, just pay for the weekend. Why not?
Yeah,
it's so unreal. Like
a sort of funny story about him. He stayed in our hotel room in San Diego, so like I forgot to collect money from him at the end. So like I messaged him like, hey, can I get the $20 for the room? And he's like, why do you want it? Like super angry. He's like, I don't understand. It's like, well, I have to pay my mom back because it was on her credit card. So like, he's like, how is it not your money? I'm like, I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll just give up. And like 10 minutes later, he messaged me. He's like, I'm sorry. I've been triple tabling and I just lost in like a really bad beat. And it was really nice of you to let me stay in your room. So here's 30 tickets. just like flipping out because he was like triple tabling the release week. And just like plays infinite.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you get good. Like play infinite, and he's also always had like a really good play group.
The Michigan guys are really good.
Yeah, all the Michigan guys getting to play with like Gabe, and like our house in Indiana had a lot of people come through all the time. Like we had.
Your house was the same house with Jerry T and Crum, right?
Yep.
That was the story, like, before it was a common thing to do. That was the story that I heard Owen was telling me, that Jerry T actually paid Crum in tickets for rent for that apartment.
Yes, at one point. This is true. So,
yeah. But, I mean, that's now a common thing. That's all Cedric does, right?
Yeah.
But that was a funny story back in the day. It was like, he actually pays in moto tickets for his rent.
That house was so unreal, too, because... Like, we got Crum, who is the angriest person you will ever meet in your entire life. Jerry, and this is Jerry fresh, like, this is the first place he lived, I think, after moving out of Minnesota, and he was living with his grandparents there, and he just comes down, and so, I had no idea who he was, never met him before, and, like, he just comes and lives, and he just becomes, like, this total shut-in for the first couple of, like months or so that he's living there. Just lives up in his room, and the only thing, I have no idea how he's alive today, how he doesn't have, like, 7 different kinds of cancer, because the only thing, like, he ever drank, it's Mountain Dew, purely, and then, like, the only food that he eats, the only thing he ate there was, like, Tombstone pizzas, and even when we go out to, we travel a lot, like, and I meet him at these events, and the only place, we have to be very careful about where we go to eat, because we have to find food that Jerry can eat, and food that Jerry can eat is American food, as he puts it, which is pizza and hamburgers and hot dogs, and so it was ridiculous. But like he got an opportunity to like open up a little bit more, but it was great seeing the dynamic between him and Crum, because Jerry can get upset about things too, and Jerry's a really like he's a sarcastic sour person, whereas Crumb is like the rabbit style, like angry kind of person. And so watching it.